Welcome to Research Notes by Lucas Engelhardt. In this series, I provide brief comments on research that I've read recently. I make no promises to get everything right and certainly leave a lot out. My hope is that this series will spark your interest, so you look at some of these papers yourself. Today, we'll look at a paper by Elias, Chiles, Lee, and DeAndrea from the Quarterly Journal of Austrian Economics' Fall and Winter 2020 double issue on entrepreneurship. The paper's title, Austrian Economics and Organizational Entrepreneurship, a Typology. So in terms of the broad overview of the paper, first we're going to talk about knowledge and change. Secondly, we'll turn to a typology of knowledge and change. And then finally, a typology of entrepreneurship, which is really the heart of this particular paper. The paper notes the importance of time to economic theorizing in the Austrian school, and emphasizes two key elements in the Austrian understanding of the importance of time: knowledge and change. However, within each of these, Austrians do take different approaches for them. In terms of knowledge, knowledge can converge over time. This would be expected if people are ultimately reacting to an objective reality, and learn more about that reality over time. So as time progresses, disagreements tend to be resolved through a greater accordance of our beliefs with that objective reality. On the other hand, relevant knowledge may be divergent. Specifically, action is future-oriented, which means that it is based not on knowledge of present or past realities, but on expectations of future realities. This allows room for differences of interpretation to arise, and even having the same data does not guarantee convergent expectations. Second, in regard to change, we can see change as either continuous or discontinuous. In my own thinking, though this may differ from the intended meanings of the authors, I think of these as the difference between change occurring primarily in steps or in leaps. When I think of continuous change, I think of one of my favorite song lyrics. OK Go's White Knuckles contains the line, "Nothing ever doesn't change, but nothing changes much." That is, change is a continuous, gradual process. In a world of discontinuous change, most of the time, people are acting according to routine. But then major disruptions to that routine occur, forcing movements to a new routine. The previously discussed possibilities regarding knowledge and change give rise to four different ways the world can work. On the one hand, the world may be typified by equilibration. Here, the world is continuously, gradually moving toward a stable equilibrium state. This would be expected in a world of continuous change and convergent knowledge. Or it may be that the world is one of punctuated equilibrium. Most of the time we're governed by routine, but occasionally big changes happen which force a change to a new routine. Or perhaps we don't really experience equilibrium at all. Instead, there is a continuous chaos. Or finally, it may be that there is a state of punctuated disequilibration that nonetheless has a certain stability to it, except in those moments where leaps are made. The four worlds would highlight four different roles for the entrepreneur. In a world of equilibration, the entrepreneur is an agent of equilibrium. Their alertness to existing opportunities leads them to make adjustments to the use of resources. When equilibrium is punctuated, however, the entrepreneur now takes the role of a disruptor of routine. This is generally understood as the entrepreneur being aware of scientific advances and then applying those in goods that others would wish to buy. This application of new knowledge forces a significant change in equilibrium. In a world of continuous disequilibrium, the entrepreneur has still another role, anticipating changes that will occur and bringing order to the chaos. Finally, in the punctuated disequilibrium view, the role of an entrepreneur is to imagine and create new opportunities that did not previously exist. On the whole, I liked this paper. I think it did well capturing the diversity of views of the entrepreneur that you find in the Austrian economic literature. Naturally, as the paper notes, entrepreneurs do play all of these roles in different times and circumstances, but this typology provides a systematic way for us to think about the specific role entrepreneurs are playing in a particular scenario we come across. One thing I thought I'd mention, as it shows up in this paper, and I don't think I've run across a satisfactory definition, though entrepreneurship really isn't my specialty, the definition of the term kaleidic in this context. I know that I associate the term with economists like Shackle and Lockman, those that are in this disequilibrium sort of school, but I don't think I could define it myself with anything like precision. Finally, remember that this was only intended as a brief overview of the paper. If it sounds interesting to you, certainly go to the Quarterly Journal of Austrian Economics and check it out.